Hey, what's going on? This is James. Welcome back to the channel, and I have an interview that I'm very, very excited about. This is Ayesha. Ayesha, what's up?
Hey, how are you doing, James?
I'm good. I'm good. Ayesha is an absolute superstar in the Ecom Boss family. If you've been following me on Instagram, you've probably seen her results. But her stories and her journey going through the program and getting to where she is today are some of my favorite stories out of any student we've ever worked with. And so, what I want to do today is highlight Ayesha's journey of coming into this program, getting started online with no experience, 7 months pregnant, and then going through having a baby, now looking after these babies, and a lot of the things that were going on at the time while going out there and absolutely crushing it with our system. And so her mindset, her resilience, and her journey through this has been absolutely astounding. And I wanted to interview her for a little bit and sort of extract some gold for all of you guys at home, because I think you can definitely take some stuff away from it. But Ayesha, let's start off with where were you before you jumped in with us?
Well, just working jobs, one job, another job. I don't have a temperament of job, to be honest. Like I don't like working jobs. Uh but it's just something that I have to do for the family.
Mhm.
And that's when I decided I was like, nah, this is not enough. I
Yes. Yeah.
need to take care of my kids and they're being neglected and I don't want them to be growing in daycare and I need to work on something that earns me money and allows me to stay at home. So that's when I was looking into a lot of online businesses and online courses that which I can join and start somewhere. And as you know, I joined a couple of them, but it was just not. They were just too complex.
Right.
And that's when I came across Ecom Boss, and I first had a chat with Adrian, and I was like, "What's this about? How are you gonna like? How are you gonna progress?" Because I, as being skeptical, I didn't want to go through something that is so complex because I didn't have enough time on my hands. I have a toddler. I am pregnant, of
Yes.
course. I am like 6 months pregnant at that time, and I was like, I had to discuss with my husband, like, I want something simple that can just simple show me how to start and then take me from there, slowly scale up.
Yes.
And then ecom boss at that time, I was like, this makes a little bit sense, but we'll see what happens. And again, when I was joining, I talked to Emmett at that time when I was joining, and I told him, I was like, no, Adrian, sorry. And I told him, I was like, I'm going to be very realistic with you. I don't want to be a millionaire in one day, but I want to learn the work, to be honest. And I want to learn how to start somewhere on online businesses and how to start and how to slowly scale up. And he was like, yeah, that's our program. And I was like, okay, I'll join, but we'll see.
Yes.
Still skeptical, but I joined. But my husband and we discussed at length, and he was like, listen, I know it's difficult, but you need to start with the mindset that I'm not going to be a millionaire. It might take me some time, but you need to work on it. And I would say kudos to my husband. He helped me a lot in that. Like he helped me financially to start my business. And I was 7 months pregnant, so he didn't go like, "Oh no, you need to take care of the baby. What are you doing?" No, he was like, "Go on, I'm backing you up. Just start somewhere." And I was like, "Okay." And then it was like, you should start and having a baby first. And I was like, no, let's start it. And that's when I started. And what I did was when it was getting difficult for me to upload projects daily on daily basis, knew that I couldn't keep up because I had a lot of health issues. I had a toddler with me and I was working at the same time. So what I did was like my sister, she was available. She's our mom herself, but she was like, hey, listen, I am backing you up. Show me the work. I'm going to do it for you. So I was
Oh,
like, yeah,
cool.
all you need to do is just upload the products every single day. I will be handling the customers. I'll be handling the orders. I'll be doing everything. You need to just follow these steps, these templates, this. And you just need to upload products every day. And that's non-negotiable. And
Yes.
she just started for me. And and as she was doing it for me, I just researched the products. I kept sending her the products. I would proofread whatever she was uploading. Everything looks good. I would tell her what the markups should be for the profits, and then slowly it just starts scaling up on
Amazing.
Etsy. eBay was a little bit quiet, but then slowly eBay picked up a sale here and there once every month.
Yes.
Facebook was very quiet, but I told her that no matter how quiet Facebook is, you're not going to giving up.
That's
You're
so
gonna keep uploading it. And she kept uploading it, and I had a lot of customers. I would say I would wake up in the hospital on the bed because I had a cesarean done. And I would wake up early in the morning, I would be feeding the baby, and at the same time I would be handling chats. Hey, is this
so good.
available? Oh, oh, this is available. Hey, where are you located? And oh no, I can't. And it would be the night in the hospital while I would be getting my blood pressure checked, and I would be handling the customers. I'll be handling the orders. And at one point, I went to my sister, like, come on, like, start handling customers now as well, because I can't do it. I have to take care of a baby, and I myself need to get up and walk and
Yes.
take care of myself. And then she was like, nah, sis, I can only upload products for you. I have my own kids. Done. So that's how I dealt with it, and then I slowly just the sales coming up, and it just kept growing and growing and growing, and I just got lucky with the products as well.
Yes.
Still, like, I had a lot of chat with Emmett. Like, Emmett did a lot of coaching for me. Like, if there were products doing good, I had asked him for help. Like, how do I scale this more? Now these products are doing well, so he helped me know that you can, like, slowly nudging me towards how to do it. So with Etsy, with the help of Emmett, because I was what I did was, like, I was trying to be very smart about it. I started ads on it, but then Emmett told me that no, you're wasting a lot of money. You need to be a bit smart about spending money on ads and stuff. And so he helped me a lot in that case. So this is how now here I am,
Yes.
just with the help of my coach. I'm still with the help of my coach,
Yes.
the help of my coach, because at one point I started, like, laughing at Emmett. Like, he had to jump on Zoom call with me so many times because I would not get something right, and he would be, this is how you do it, Aisha, this. And I'll be like, Emmett, I'm like the student who doesn't get what you're saying, and you have to come up and, like, spoon feed me on how to do it. So he's helping me a lot, and that's what it matters. Like,
And
support is,
bear in mind that the good thing is that the reason why you're one of the top performing students that we have is because of the fact that you ask the most questions. And you
yeah.
can bug us as much as you want because the more questions you ask, the faster you learn. And so
Yes.
it's always gonna be the people who don't ask questions and get stuck and don't tell us. When those are the people who get stuck. And what's so funny about all of that, Aisha, is I didn't want to say a word because
Yeah.
you went through like the journey. There's so much in there that I want to unpack. There's so much gold in there. And when you actually think about it, like how far we've come in such a short period of time is wild. And you
Yes.
always start to forget after a while, like how much has happened. And so there's a bunch of things I want to ask you about. There's some really good stuff, but again, crazy journey, crazy journey. So
It's a
first
lot.
thing first, starting with, I know you said that before you even worked with us, you were in some other programs and you were doing some other stuff that wasn't really working. Without naming names, what was going on there? Like what was not working before you started working with us?
Okay, so when I started, there were some programs they were teaching me how to do the Facebook Marketplace, but that was in America.
Okay.
It was not in Australia. So in America, but the thing with start, like, working in America was that I had to get a lot of fake addresses. I had to
All
manage
right.
accounts. I had to manage phone numbers. I had to manage websites,
Too
and
much.
it's too much.
Yeah.
Too. I was like, this is too much.
Right.
I just want something simple. Like, show me how to start simple.
Yes.
That must the program must have done the good work. It must have produced results for people. But there were a lot of customers. Their students were a lot of people from America. There
Yes.
were very less from Australia. So it was just not working for us because the way they were showing us, it was a lot like, get this fake, get this fake. It just wasn't working that way. The other program was, they were too expensive
Okay.
and not teaching a lot of stuff. Your program was like, it was showing just the right amount of work,
Beautiful.
the right amount of money.
Yes.
So, like,
So
you could do it for a
you
normal
tried a
person.
lot. You tried a lot before you worked with us. Good. Okay.
I tried a lot before I worked with you guys. So I knew your program was good because it was simple for me, easy to understand, and also, like, as a normal person, I could afford to pay for it.
Yes.
Even though, like, I could, like, even and you guys were helpful with everything. Like, you were accommodating enough. Those programs were not
Yes.
accommodating individually. And
course.
your
Yeah.
program individually accommodates every person needs. That's what
I love that. Thank you.
that
Yeah.
yeah,
And it's something we're proud of as well, because one thing I like to mention every now and then is that what's really interesting is obviously we could charge a lot more for Ecom Boss. We really could. But the biggest thing is that I like being in a position right now where we're one of the most affordable programs out there
yeah, yeah,
when it comes to actual upfront costs. But we also have better results than a lot of those other programs that charge you 5 grand and beyond. They can't come close. And so that's what I'm really happy about. And at the end of the
not
day,
provide the same coaching, the coaching that you guys provide. Because to be honest, the people that are joining these programs, they don't understand that the people joining them, they're literally they don't know shit.
of course,
Don't know anything. They need to be spoon fed a lot, and people need to be like me. I need to be spoon fed. To me, I can't learn everything on my own. And honestly, nobody has that much time
hmm,
to be learning each and every single thing. So you guys simplified it for us, where we didn't have to do all the grunt work
yes,
to learn this stuff. So it was just like get straight to the point, do this, and
yeah. You know
you'll
what's
learn all
funny
the way.
is
It was like that.
we did a vlog, and I think it'll be on the channel soon. But me and Emma were talking about how as we evolve and update the program each and every time we add new stuff to it,
Yeah,
people think that improving the program means adding more, but oftentimes it's actually taking things away or
exactly.
simplifying things. Because what's
Yeah,
happened is we've found is that our courses have gotten shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter. And
yeah,
it's not because we're trying to take valuable stuff out. It's because if you just take out everything you don't need and just
yeah,
template everything else, you can
yeah,
move through it a lot faster, which is quite funny because then now when I see other programs out there and they're like 30-hour long behemoths, I'm like, who's going through this as a beginner with
yeah.
no experience? Like it's just your brain would explode. You'd have an aneurysm,
That
right?
place, like, the very first thing concern that I joined was like, oh my God, who's gonna come up with these templates and what to write? And oh my God, my brain is frying. It's not, and mind you, it's a real thing. After pregnancy, after delivering a baby, your mind is not just working. It doesn't work. It
Yes.
doesn't work. I was like, I'm like now I'm mush. I'm just sitting a mush person, just
Yes.
have no idea what to do and how to do it. Like I'd be
Yes.
like, well, what's happening? And it was so simple and easy, and I would like, oh, I mean, I can't do it, and he would tell me like, oh, this is how you can do it. So that was the good thing, that I am being lazy person, but it's not like the coaches are blaming me. Stop being lazy, just do it, get over it. No, okay, this is how you do it lazily.
Yes. Yes.
Help yourself.
You're working smart, not working hard.
It's smart, not yeah, not hard. So, hey, Emmett, I can't work today. I would just tell him I can't work today because I've had this. And he was like, okay, that's fine. You can take a break. At the same time, the mindful training is going on as well.
Yes.
So you're keeping us motivated, but
So good.
at the same time, I'm getting the break I need
It's so good.
from all that. Yeah.
You know what I'd love
So
to know more about, Aisha, is we've worked with some incredible mums, for example, or new parents. I recently, the other day, I interviewed Misk, who you also know, who was doing this during maternity leave as well. And we have absolute troopers like you two inside of the program, absolutely crushing it. But there's also a lot of people who would call you crazy for taking on a business while also having a baby. And one of my favorite stories that I have to tell was we were hanging out in Melbourne. We were all hanging out after an event, and we were talking about how well you've done, and you were going on this rant. I'd love for you to share it on people who say they don't have enough time, and you are ripping into them.
yeah, so there were a few people. They were coming. They were like, "Oh, we don't have enough time," and I was like, what are you talking about? Not enough time. Who has time nowadays? Nobody has time nowadays. And it's just something that you have to work through, because if you want to get the free time that you're aiming for, you can't get that without working towards it. So I was like, you know what? Delegate it, delegate it, delegate it. That's the thing. Like if you're getting annoyed by little work that you're doing, delegate that work.
Yes,
I've been delegating to my sister. If I couldn't have found my sister, I would be definitely hiring someone,
yes,
a freelancer, or these app exists for the people. They do your work, and there are people from countries like Pakistan, Indonesia, Philippines, that they would do it for such little money,
of course.
and everybody can afford under $200 a month.
Yes,
Everybody can afford that. It's not like nobody can afford it. We have mortgages, we have kids, and I could still afford $100, $200 a month
of course.
to give virtual assistants, because If I'm not putting in the work, I'm not working smartly, then nobody's going to do it for me. I'll be stuck in this job, this mindless job for the rest of my life. And
Absolutely.
uh, I'll be just working jobs.
100%. And it's so true. You made a very, very interesting distinction early on, which was that if I can't do everything right now, I mean, goodness gracious, like giving birth and going through all that kind of stuff, it's like you didn't have time. Like you had way too much to play anyway. And it was a case of maybe I don't have time, but the work still needs to be done. And so what could I do here? And so
Yeah.
if you look at, say, busy parents and they're both working, right?
Yeah.
They're both like, even if it's one partner who joined the program because they want to make some extra money for their household, like the other person's clearly in on that vision as well. They also
Yeah.
want it. And so even if one person can't do the full hour per day, because really all it takes is an hour per day, as you know. But what if one person did 30 minutes and the other person did 30? What if you just spread the workload across the two people in the family, right?
Yeah.
And even then, you have stuff like virtual assistants. There's so much that you can do. We live in an era now that even AI, AI does a lot of the work for us if you know how to leverage it correctly. There's
Yeah.
so much there, which I think is phenomenal. And the other thing that you point out, which is good, is that nobody has time anymore, right? And so oftentimes people will use their current circumstance of where they are as an excuse as to
Yeah.
why they can't get where they want to go. I want to make
Yeah.
more money, but I don't have the money to join a program to learn. It's like,
Yeah.
great. Well, you can find the money. If you look
Yeah.
around your house, you can find something that's $500, $1,000 that you haven't used in years that you could sell. You could go ahead and ask a friend, brother, cousin, hey, listen, can I borrow $1,000 off you? Promise you'll pay it back in a month. And as a thank you, I'll buy you this, I'll buy you that. Right? Like money, you can always find more money. When it comes to time, no one has enough time, so you need to create the time. You need to
I'm
sacrifice a bit of time.
gonna tell you something. I mean, and you yourself know that we had to sell one of our cars for us to pay for the program.
Mm,
We had to, and we did that sacrifice, and my husband was happy to make that sacrifice.
yes,
He was like, "Yeah, you know what? We'll manage with one car. That's fine. We'll manage with it. We can always buy another car. That's fine. We don't need the car. And it's we are living in regional area. We have to travel to work in like proper suburbs, but
yes,
we're making it work because that needs to be done. We need to do something about our circumstances. And if we can't sell anything, then we can't find the money. Then it's just
100%. And you know what's so good about that is there's this analogy I heard when I started my journey when I was
yeah,
18.
yeah,
Was if you want to take the island, you need to burn the boats. So if you want to take over an island, right? And it's you versus whoever's on the island, right? Is
yeah,
if you want to 100% take over the island, you need to burn the boats. You got to get rid of your way back. You need to
yes,
like you got to burn the boats. And so it's the same thing with you. A lot of people could hear that and they could say, "Oh my God, Ayesha, like you're crazy, right?
yeah,
Here in first it is while you're pregnant, then you sold your car to do this." But you know what it did is it forced you like, all right, cool, that's done. Now I
yeah,
have to make this work. And the funny thing is that you and the few people who have really taken it seriously and said, listen, I'm gonna make a sacrifice here.
yeah.
You make it work. Because what's your other option? Because you're not
No,
going to make the mistake that some other people make where they don't feel the sting as much. Oh, I'll watch Netflix. Oh, I'll kick it back this week. Oh, I'll do it later. You're like, no, I got to do this. And
yeah,
that's the reason why your results are so astronomical. And all the new students who come in, even today, they see your
yeah,
post and like, oh my God, what's Ayesha doing? I want to learn from Ayesha. You
yeah.
know, I get messages like that from people like,
Yeah.
this feels great. But that's because you took it seriously.
No, it just I because I when I joined this program, I joined it with the intention that I have nothing else to do. This is what I need to work on, and this is what I need to make work for me. And to be honest, like even though my husband, he's really supportive. He was like, "How will you start it?" I was like, "We'll see." We'll see, because he knew that I was like completely failing in other programs that I joined previously. I was like, nah, I'm not gonna do
Yes.
this. I just kept leaving. He was like, I'll see. He was like, I was like, I didn't realize that you're doing good. Like, I'm so proud of you. Like, I didn't know that you're gonna be like working through this. I was like, yeah, because I burned all the bridges behind me.
That's
I
it.
had to make it work, and it had to work, and that was the only thing for me. So I'm just taking it as my the my option to save myself
Yes.
from the mindless jobs that I'm stuck in. Right? That's
Yeah.
I need to
It's
replace my income. So I'm still not there, but I'm working every day for
when and once again I wasn't pregnant when I did this but when I was 18 I started my journey. I think maybe I've told the story, maybe you've heard or not, but my first coach, his name was Sean. And
it.
he's great, lives in the Gold Coast. Like we're really good friends this day. He changed my life. And I remember I burned the boats in my own way as an 18-year-old in the sense that I was working, making $300 a week as a
Yeah,
barista. And I found this guy and I watched his content. We hopped on a call and he was like, here's my program. And I was like 100% certain that I wanted to work with him. His results were great. And then he said the program was 3,000 US dollars. So I
yeah,
didn't even know about exchange rates at that point. I was like 3 grand. And he was like, oh, but it's in US. Like, wait, it's 4.5. Okay, it's 4.5 grand. And I had like $500 in my bank account that I
yeah,
managed to save. Right.
yeah,
And I'm like, what the hell am I going to do here? And I remember he was gracious enough to offer me a payment plan. And it was a 12-month payment plan.
yeah,
It was like as far stretched as you could imagine. And even though it was 400 or so dollars a month, but at that age, for me, that was the equivalent of me like giving like that's it, that's all my money. Like I am gonna have no money left over the end of the month. Like I'm gonna have to make this work. And so I was super anxious. I joined. In fact, a day later, I started begging him for a refund. They're making up all this stuff. I was like, my parents are gonna kill me. My girlfriend's gonna dump me. I won't be able to afford university. I need a refund. He was like, dude, just do the work. Trust me. No, you're capping. And I got results in my first 2 to 3 weeks. It was the
yeah,
same thing as you. Is
yeah,
that I just decided, you know what? I'm just gonna have to give this a crack. And it is
yeah,
in those moments where we do burn the bridges, we burn the boats, we say, you know what? Screw it, we're gonna do this.
yeah.
We're the kind of people who get the results. And so for people who are watching at home, it's like they just got to do the same
Oh,
thing.
keeping in mind you didn't have Ecom Boss at that.
Yes, yes. I didn't. Ecom Boss didn't exist. No, I created Ecom Boss so I can replicate that for others. Funny
Yeah,
story actually was it was really interesting was I had the 12-month payment plan and it was just to mess with him because he was a really good friend and we became friends really quickly is over the that year he was like, so you're gonna pay it back faster now that you're making money. I was like, nope, 12 months. And so it was like every month I'm like, don't worry bro, we're almost finished. And then like the last one I like sent him a screenshot. I was like, I finally paid it off. He's like, thanks James, appreciate it, just 12 months late. But yes, very funny story.
Yeah. So,
Oh goodness, I love it. So I guess I'd love to know a couple last questions because it's very dangerous. You and I, we can talk forever. Like
yeah,
us in person, we're
I
a
know,
house
right?
on fire. What would you say? Obviously, a massive part of your success, Aisha, is who you are, right? Nobody can ever take that away from you. You're just an
Yeah,
absolute superstar. You take everything to the extreme in the best ways, and that's why you are where you are. And I can't imagine where you'll be 12 months from now. I'd love to know when it comes to the program specifically, coming from a lot of programs, obviously didn't get you the results. What
yeah.
part of the program specifically, especially the beginner program, do you feel helped you the most? Was it the training? Was it the coaching? I think you mentioned a lot of the coaching. Like, what do you think helped you the most?
Coaching,
Okay.
coaching. Training, like the following what the program itself, it's of course it's very helpful. It's very easy to understand and step by step what you can do next. And each video shows you like step by step what you're doing. That's really good. You can like anybody can set that up, but the coaching because in there's so much a coach can teach you in via a video.
Yes.
There's so much like there's so many videos Emmett can make in a day, or you can make in a day.
Yes.
How many videos? So they're like in business, there are different lot of intricate details that you get stuck on. If I didn't have the coach, I would have not
Yes.
knew how to navigate through them.
Okay.
And now that I did have the coaching for 6 months and ongoing, I've got a couple of months left anyways right now. And
Yes.
I know that I am learning stuff which nobody can take away from me. So
Yes.
now, not just the e-commerce, like within the business, I came across some more people and suppliers. They were trying to, oh, hey, a customer just bought a bangle from me. And then she was interested in, hey, can you do get an order for wholesale?
Yes.
And then I had to do an wholesale. So that was apart from
Yes.
any of the program that Etsy and Facebook and that's how I started making a little bit rapport with some customers. They were liking the product, so they purchased again, and they wanted more. There were customers that were interested in some sort of papers. So now this is how I started. Like the coaches showed me what it was in the coaching, but then I knew what to do next by myself and how to respond because I had Emmett in my head. You can say this to the customer. Hey, you can say this to the customer. And next time, if the customer asks me, I would know because, hey, Emmett told me this is what you're going to say next to the
Well,
customer. We're stuck here. So thanks to Coach Emmett, he has a lot of patience for us, especially for someone like
Shout
me,
out,
like
Emmett.
for someone like as I would say illiterate, not illiterate, but illiterate like me. Like, hey, Coach, what am I going to do? I'm stuck here. Like, stupidest question, and don't be afraid to ask stupidest question.
No.
No question is stupid enough because hey, you've never done it before.
Yes.
It might seem across as stupid, and I'll be like, hey, Emmett, you might think that I'm a stupid person, but you're like, no, shoot. Or just say
Yeah.
the stupidest thing, and he would be like, ah, nah,
Yeah.
this is how
Stupid,
to deal
stupid
with
people are people who don't ask questions.
yeah, yeah, exactly. So no, don't ask questions. So even then, like if I would do a blunder, I would tell Emmett, hey, Emmett, I did a blunder of my own doing. Now you tell me how do I fix this blunder of my own doing that I did
Yes.
such a massive blunder? How to fix this? And then he would not be like, oh my God, are you kidding me? What are you doing, Ayesha? You're so this. No, he was like, it's okay. Do this, and move on.
Yes.
So at one point, people get stuck in massive losses or massive blunders, but I would be, to be honest, at one point I would be crying. I was like, oh, damn it. Blunder. I would be crying and I would be texting him like, I did such a big blunder. Oh my God, I'm so stressed. What do I do? And I would bring all the emotions back to my coach.
That's
And
great.
then the coach would tell me what to do about those emotions and how to deal with them.
Very
So
good.
yeah, so I've been handling my a lot of emotions with Coach Evans here.
So good. You've transformed in so many different ways. And it's, as you said, like there's so many different skills you're learning directly and indirectly through it, whether it be the mechanical skills of obviously what we teach, but there's also how you can take those skills into other things, like you said, with like the wholesale stuff. You've also got the emotional skills, right? Big part of business people don't talk about is how do you
Yeah,
deal with rejection? How do you deal with failure? How do you deal with, here's a plan that I got in mind, the whole thing just blew up in my face. What the
yeah,
hell, right? How do you deal with your confidence being shaken by stuff like that? Like you learn all this stuff as you go and it carries over into your life. And even funnier, like these things that we teach, like they can be extrapolated into the most interesting areas. One of the really cool things that I mentioned, it's obviously not something we teach in our program, but one of my best friends named Dion, he was originally actually one of our very first coaches, one of the first iterations of the program. And Dion, he was the original Emmett, actually, the original Emmett. Shout out Dion. He's one of my best friends, and he and his father run a $1 million sliding door business now in Perth. So glass sliding doors for
yeah,
houses, and they get 100% of their sales through Facebook Marketplace.
yeah.
And it's like, I'm like, show me this. You should show me. It's like, it's all through Facebook Marketplace. And I'm like, the chat stuff, I'm like, this is so similar to what we do. It's just for bigger deals, you know? And it's so interesting how these little foundations can be taken into so many different areas, which is so, so cool. But I guess for you, one last question I'd love, because you're such a shining example, your story is great, and you obviously have inspired a lot of people up until this point of the video.
Yeah.
I'd love to know specifically if you could give one piece of advice to a parent, somebody who has a family who wants to get into this stuff. There's a lot of limiting beliefs in the way about what they can and can't do, whether they can, whether they can't, they have the time, or they don't. What's the one piece of advice that you would give them as somebody who's done exactly what it is that they want to do?
I would say stick to the program. Yeah,
Okay.
I would say stick to the program. Trust me, there are a lot of doubts that rushes through the mind. Stick to the program. One thing that I learned the most was like how confident I was getting in my when I was uploading the products that I kept choosing. Like it's the little tiniest details. It's not just sales. The little thing is you start to realize what to look into in a product when you're choosing a product. You become confident about the product yourself. You know in your mind that if I upload this product, this is how I can generate sales towards it, or this is how I can multiply it. So like that's the thing, like small thing with customer. When you're talking to a customer, you like I am such a I even though I've worked customer service for like 4 or 5 years, I realized after doing this program that I had no customer service abilities at all. Because the customer, they shoot a question to you, and then I would be like, oh my God, how do I respond to that? I am lost. My
Yes.
life has ended. And this has just gone now. The customer text, I know what she's texting, I know what she wants, I know what she's gonna say next, or what he's gonna say next, and I know what to say. Like I'm so confident in what I want. I'm saying that the confidence that I exude in my conversation that makes the sales. for me. Like, that's the thing that I've learned the most from this program. And that's what I would say. Just follow the program and trust the process. That later on, after 6 months, 7 months, when you're following the program, you will be confident enough to know what to do next and how to do next. And to be honest, like after 5 months and 6 months in, I my brain started to like, what else can I start, like what can I do, like how can I grow up my business. And that's when I kept, so because that's something that is yours and you work on your stuff, and
Yes.
it's just take it as your baby. You're working on your baby. It's just
So
that
good.
you have to
And
be passionate about it.
and if they hear all this and they're like, that sounds great, but I'm still on the fence. I don't know if I should just make the leap and start.
Yeah.
You say to them then.
Like I would say, when you have a baby that's a difficult baby, do you say like, hey, I'm gonna get rid of the baby, I'm not gonna just take care of the baby? No, you just take care of the baby.
Of course.
You have to work towards your future. It's your future in your hands. You have all these dreams. It's your dreams. Nobody is gonna work for those dreams unless you want to. It's
That's so good.
you have to work towards your dreams.
That's so
And
good.
you give, like as a parent, you give so much to your children, you give your all to your children.
Yes.
But as a parent, I know that how you lose your identity doing that, how you lose yourself. This is something that you're doing for yourself, getting
Yes.
back the identity that you have lost, because this is something you're doing for yourself. Just trust me that the first time that you will spend, like when I earn my money and I had enough savings, I bought myself a Harry Potter experience ticket from the
Really?
money card.
Okay.
I bought myself Harry Potter experience, the Forbidden Forest experience that came in Melbourne.
Oh,
I bought
wow.
myself and my husband
That's so
from
good.
those, and we, because I'm a massive Harry Potter fan, and I did it for
Me
myself.
too.
And like, you need to spend on yourself. And he said that like, you're earning money. Why are you not buying the tickets? Like, what's stopping you? I was like, yeah, what's stopping me?
Yes.
And I bought that for myself. And imagine the happiness that I've experienced, because with just my salary, I know my salary is all going into mortgages and my
Yes.
kids and the house and the bills and the stuff. That was something that I earned for myself and I spent on myself.
Of course.
So that feeling as a parent, when you have that, you'll know that you're on the right track. Yeah.
And how good is it, that feeling when, especially like for me, it was the very first thing that I bought. I saved for a while. The first money I made online, the first thing I bought was a new MacBook. It was the first computer I like ever. I had this crappy school one. It was like shattered and I get glass in my finger every time I used it. Like walking to the Apple store, like cheapest MacBook I could find. Like going in
Yeah.
there, and it's like, wait, this thing paid for this?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that, it is just the best feeling in the world. And I think
It's-
that a laptop's cool. Harry
Yeah.
Potter,
Yeah.
way better in my opinion. That is awesome. Good on you, Eve. Seriously.
Yeah.
You are
Yes.
you're amazing.
Work towards that dream.
Yeah.
That's it. The first purchase that I'm gonna buy for myself from my own money, where nobody can say, "Oh, we need this money for this and for that and for this and for that." No,
Yes.
this is my money. I'm gonna spend it however I want to, and I did that. I spent on the Harry Potter experience because I wanted to. I'm a massive Harry Potter fan.
Yes.
Uh, and I got to buy a ticket for my husband as well, and I was so happy. I was like, "Oh my god, now he can share this experience with me," because I know that he can. We are so stuck in all this cycle of mortgages and bills and bills and bills. Something that we did for ourselves, apart from, yeah. So it was really good.
Good on you,
Yeah,
Ayesha. You're incredible. Thank you so much for taking the time for this. You've inspired a lot of people. You don't realize it yet.
yeah,
Seriously, your story is incredible. Thank you so much. I want to keep crushing it. I'm very excited to do some sort of catch-up video in 12 months and see where you are then, with how fast things are really moving for you. You're just amazing. I can't wait for that. And for
yeah.
those of you who are home, I hope you got a ton of value out of this. Please take on, like, that's what she's talking about. And she's proven herself time and time again inside of the group. I hope this is valuable for you all. If you have any questions for myself or Ayesha, comment them down below. If you have any questions for her, I'll get her to jump back in and give her a real response. But with that being said, I hope you got a ton of value out of it. And if you want to find out a bit more about Ecom Boss and see if we can help you as well, my Instagram is tagged below. If you want to go ahead and click me a message, I don't bite. I'm here to chat, can send you a voice message and just go through the details and see if it's a fit for you. No worries at all. With that being said, take care.